What if I told you that some of the most controversial Republican immigration policies actually led to measurable success? Welcome to the only place on YouTube where political narratives are stripped down to cold, hard facts. Today, we're diving into 10 Republican immigration policies that were tough but transformative. They weren't always popular, but they worked. Here's how. Number 10. E-Verify expansion. Republicans pushed to make E-Verify, the online system for legal status of employees, mandatory. Why? Because illegal employment fuels illegal immigration. In Alabama, after mandating E-Verify, self-deportation increased and local unemployment dropped temporarily as low-skilled jobs opened for legal residents. Critics said it hurt agriculture, but it also revealed a system that had long ignored immigration law in the name of cheap labor. Number 9. Securing the southern border. Build the wall. The border wall wasn't just symbolic, it had impact. Border Patrol stats showed a clear drop in illegal crossings in areas where new fencing was built, especially in Arizona and parts of Texas. In Yuma sector, apprehensions fell by over 70% after new wall segments were added. Number 8. Ending catch and release. Before 2018, migrants could claim asylum, be released into the U.S., and often never return for court dates. Republicans ended that, choosing detention over release. In some cases, asylum fraud dropped, as people without valid claims were less willing to face detention. It was controversial, but it restored enforcement credibility and sent a message: gaming the system would no longer be tolerated. Number 7. The public charge rule. This 2019 policy meant that immigrants likely to rely on public aid, like food stamps or Medicaid, could be denied green cards. Some legal immigrants began opting out of public benefits, fearing it would affect their status. Critics said it was heartless. Supporters said it upheld U.S. self-reliance values and protected strained public systems. Number 6. Slashing visa overstays. While media focused on the border, over 40% of illegal immigrants entered legally and overstayed visas. Republicans poured funding into biometric exit tracking, flight monitoring, and data sharing. The result? Between 2016 and 2020, overstays from countries like Nigeria and India dropped significantly. This behind-the-scenes reform fixed a problem that Democrats largely ignored for years. Number 5. Reducing refugee admissions and focusing on vetting. Under Trump, the U.S. refugee cap dropped to just 15,000 per year, the lowest since 1980. Why? To give national security agencies time to modernize vetting processes. The goal wasn't to block refugees, it was to ensure the ones who came didn't pose a threat. Harsh? Maybe. Necessary? Many believe yes. Number 4. Ending DACA expansion. DACA, which protected Dreamers, was never passed by Congress. Obama enacted it via executive order. Republicans argued immigration law belongs in Congress, not the White House. Trump's move to end DACA was less about removing protections and more about restoring legislative authority. Number 3. Remain in Mexico. This 2019 policy, officially called the Migrant Protection Protocols, required asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while awaiting hearings. So, the flood of asylum claims slowed, and border detention centers got relief. Fraudulent claims from Central America declined as applicants realized they couldn't just enter and disappear. It was tough on migrants, but it protected asylum's integrity. Number 2. Restricting sanctuary cities. Republicans took a tough stance against sanctuary cities, places that protect undocumented immigrants from cooperating with federal immigration authorities. The goal was to require local governments to respect federal immigration laws and cooperate with ICE to identify and deport criminal immigrants. For example, in 2017, the federal government cut funding to several sanctuary jurisdictions that refused to cooperate with ICE. This policy increased pressure on sanctuary cities and reduced violations of immigration laws, though it sparked significant legal and political debates. Number 1. Strengthening ICE enforcement. targeted deportations of criminals. One of the key Republican policies was strengthening ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, to focus on identifying and deporting illegal immigrants with criminal records. The goal was to prioritize resources on those who pose a real threat to public safety, rather than indiscriminately pursuing all undocumented immigrants. In 2017, the Priority Enforcement Program, PEP, replaced the older Securities Program, focusing on criminals involved in serious offenses like drug trafficking and sexual assault. This shift led to lower crime rates in some communities and gave the public a greater sense of security, moving from broad enforcement to targeted, strategic action.
These weren't perfect policies. Some sparked protests, lawsuits, even headlines. But they brought accountability, structure, and control to a system many viewed as broken. And in many cases, they worked, not just to stop abuse, but to rebuild public trust. Let's hear from you. Which of these policies made the most impact, and which ones crossed the line? Drop your thoughts below. Let's have the debate. If this video gave you a new perspective, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe.